Now, two petroleum workers who survived the 2014 offshore helicopter crash have formally petitioned the Petroleum Commission for compensation due them after waiting for about 6 years.
Now, the two, Godfred Amankwa and Ebenezer Mpabeng, who were part of the 8th May 2014 helicopter crash, reactivated calls for compensation due them to be paid when our Western Regional correspondent Akwasi Agyei spoke to them.
In all, 4 out of 8 petroleum workers died in the offshore helicopter crash on 8 May 2014 on their way to work on the then Luke oil field. Godfred Amankwa and Ebenezer Mpabeng, both welders, were part of the lucky 4 who survived the crash. They were contracted by Tonimo Metal Works to carry out welding for MI Swako, a subsidiary of Schlumberger, which was at the time doing drilling services for Luke Oil. Though the government constituted an investigative committee to look into the crash, who even interviewed the two, the victims have up to date not received any compensation. Following a recent City Business News report on the helicopter crash, the survivors say they received a lot of sympathies and motivation to fight ahead, hence their decision to petition the Petroleum Commission for help on how to secure compensation.
After close to 6 years, getting to 6 years now, from our helicopter crash, which we have not have any compensation, we finally submit our petition to Ghana Petroleum Commission in Takoradi, and we hope it will get to our Accra for the authorities to help us to get our compensation. Because life has not been easy for us ever since the incident happened, and we hope with the submission of the petition, they will do the necessary things so that we can get our compensation that is due for us.
What have you also got to say?
I thank God that today you have submitted our petition to Petroleum Commission for them to review. I'm praying that when we reach Accra, the authorities will look at it and then compensate us for what has happened 6 years ago.
Though the Western Regional Office of the Petroleum Commission did not give any special assurances to these survivors of the helicopter crash, it is their expectation that their fate will for this time be different with the officers in charge. For City News, I'm Akwasi, Annim, Takoradi.
Maybe I think that this is quite unfortunate. You know, sometimes when you have to work for the nation and then there are problems and you feel abandoned, you know, it really dampens your spirit. And it's not a good example to other people.
Yes, certainly. And for me, it is like something we see happening with, like when anything happens with anybody in the public sector, private sector, when they are harmed, initially, I mean, there's a lot of uproar about it, but then later on you find that investigations happen, we don't hear anything about it, and then this has taken over 6 years, I mean, I believe.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure they're suffering, and some of them actually in our first report indicated that they were traumatized. I mean, such that they will not be able to take up active work within the sector again, and that means the livelihood or the daily bread of a family man, you know, just being taken out of.
Exactly. This is not the first time you're actually reporting on this incident, but it looks like, I mean, reports are falling on deaf ears, and I think it is unfortunate, you know, that things like these should be going on